My first guest tonight is a private investigator who specializes in missing persons, and he got his hands on the paper trail from that first ticket that went on the Tesla's windshield to the end of the line at the impound lot.
A black Tesla sat parked on a quiet street in Hollywood. To most neighbors, it was just another expensive car collecting dust. A dent on the back, a ticket on the windshield. Nothing unusual for Los Angeles. But on September 8th, 2025, when the car was finally towed and parked inside a lot, everything changed. A worker at the tow yard noticed a smell, one so strong there was no ignoring it. When the front trunk of the Tesla was opened, investigators found the severely decomposed remains of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. The vehicle was registered to the 20-year-old rising artist known as D4vd, who just months earlier had been performing to packed crowds. Police didn't call him a suspect. They didn't accuse him of anything, but the connection was enough to send shockwaves across the internet. The story didn't begin at the tow yard. According to reports, the Tesla had been spotted and even ticketed days earlier while sitting on a Hollywood street. Neighbors noticed the dent. They noticed the dust, but no one noticed what was inside. And when officers placed a ticket on the windshield, even they didn't report an odor. That detail, no smell in late August, has puzzled people following the case. How could a body be inside for days, maybe longer, without anyone noticing? Part of the answer may lie in the car itself. Teslas are airtight in ways older cars aren't. Odors that might escape from a traditional trunk can remain sealed inside a frunk, especially with no airflow. Add to that Los Angeles summer heat. Temperatures in the car could have climbed to well over 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Heat accelerates decomposition, but an airtight compartment slows detection. The result? A timeline that feels broken. The car sits, but no smell escapes until it's moved, jolted, and opened. That gap, the days between the ticket, the tow, and the discovery, remains one of the case's most haunting puzzles. But that wasn't the only detail investigators noticed. Shortly after the body was discovered, detectives turned their focus to a home in the Hollywood Hills. This wasn't random. It was a property linked to the young musician. Police executed a search warrant there, seizing electronics and computers. Devices like these are gold mines in an investigation. Phones track movements. Laptops store login history. Even a cloud account can reveal messages or files that someone thought were gone. Public records confirm the warrant, but one detail matters. The artist has not been named a suspect. Through media outlets, he was described as cooperating with authorities. Still, his tour dates vanished overnight. Shows were canceled. Fans who had tickets were left with silence. For a performer who had built momentum, it was like hitting pause on a career that had been racing forward. In criminal cases, investigators rarely seize electronics unless they expect to find something. Sometimes not a smoking gun, but breadcrumbs, photos, Jeep's tags, text logs. Whether anything like that exists here is still unknown. But while detectives searched, another story unfolded about the girl whose name was suddenly everywhere. Celeste Rivas Hernandez. To the world, her name appeared suddenly in breaking news alerts. But to her family and community, she was more than a headline. Reports show that Celeste had been reported missing in 2024, not once, but more than once. That detail doesn't define her, but it complicates the story. A teenager who had already slipped in and out of sight before. In Los Angeles, missing person cases involving teens are tragically common. Sometimes they resolve quickly, sometimes they don't. In Celeste's case, those earlier reports now form part of the timeline investigators are piecing together. Did they matter? Did they connect to what happened in 2025? So far, police haven't said. What is confirmed? As of now, no official cause of death has been released. Toxicology results can take months. Forensic testing is slow. That gap between discovery and explanation creates space where rumors thrive. Some claim connections, some speculate relationships. None of it has been confirmed by authorities. But while the internet spun theories, investigators focused on something less glamorous but far more telling: data. In a world where everyone leaves footprints, data becomes the loudest witness. For investigators, the key question isn't just where was Celeste, but also who else was near her? That's where digital evidence comes in. Cell phone records can show location pings, call histories, app usage. Tesla systems like Sentry Mode or Dashcam can record who approaches a car. if the feature was enabled and storage wasn't overwritten. Ring cameras and other home security systems line Hollywood neighborhoods, often catching more than their owners realize. Even Wi-Fi networks log which devices tried to connect. If investigators can line up these signals, phone pings, camera clips, device connections, they can stitch together a timeline that human memory can't provide. The problem is that none of this is fast. Accessing data requires warrants. Analyzing it takes specialists. And while the public demands answers now, the digital trail moves at the speed of subpoenas and server requests. Still, one part of the puzzle sparked more questions than answers. Proximity. It's the word nobody can ignore. Reports say the car had been left close, about 100 feet, from where the artist had been staying in the Hollywood Hills. For many online, that distance is almost nothing, practically the same street. But proximity isn't proof. Neighbors' cars get parked on the same block. Rentals end up in front of houses they don't belong to. The problem is perception. When the registered owner of a car lives or stays near where that car was abandoned, people naturally ask why. Was it coincidence or was it convenience? For investigators, close doesn't mean guilt. It means more questions. Who parked the car there? When? Did any cameras capture the moment it was left? Those answers matter more than geography alone. But geography is what the public can see. And that's why the 100-foot question became a rallying cry online. And if you think the internet stopped there, think again. From the moment Celeste's name hit headlines, social media erupted. Theories, screenshots, speculation, millions of posts in hours. Some pointed to supposed connections. Others claimed hidden meanings in lyrics or posts. Most of it unverified. Here's the reality. Investigations take time. Toxicology can take months. Forensic analysis of electronics can stretch even longer, especially when devices are encrypted. Each step requires patience. Each result must be double-checked. Police statements so far have been brief. The case is ongoing. No suspect has been named. That's it. But online, patience is in short supply. People want villains. They want closure. And in the absence of official answers, theories grow into stories. The danger? When speculation runs ahead of facts, it can shape perception before evidence has a chance to speak. That's why every investigator will tell you, rumors may trend, but evidence wins in the end. And yet, in the middle of this storm, one development quietly gave Celeste's family the space they needed. While detectives sorted through data, Celeste's family faced a reality no one should. After weeks of waiting, the medical examiner released her remains. A funeral was planned. Friends and relatives gathered to remember not a case, but a daughter, a sister, a teenager whose story ended far too early. Headlines can reduce a person to a victim. Families don't have that luxury. For them, Celeste was still the girl they raised, the girl with dreams. As cameras pointed at tow yards and search warrants, they were writing eulogies. That contrast, the cold process of investigation against the warmth of memory, shows what's often forgotten. At the heart of every headline is a human being. For investigators, the release of remains doesn't close the case. It's just one step. Autopsies and sample testing continue behind the scenes, sometimes long after a funeral takes place. What the family needed was closure to grieve. What detectives need is clarity to explain. Both move on different timelines, and when the next real answer comes, it won't be from Twitter. Where does the case go from here? If answers come, they'll arrive through slow, meticulous work. Lab reports might reveal substances. Device logs could uncover movements. Surveillance cameras may show faces that no one expected. Each piece of evidence either narrows the field or widens the mystery. For now, this is what we know. A young girl's life ended, her body discovered in the frunk of a Tesla. The car was tied to a rising star, but he has not been named a suspect. Police continue their work. The family grieves, and the internet speculates. But here's the truth worth holding on to. Celeste deserves more than rumors. She deserves answers built on facts, not theories. And until investigators release their findings, the most powerful thing we can do is resist the noise and wait for the evidence. Because when it comes, the story will no longer belong to speculation. It will belong to truth.